Hello there and welcome to Me Time today on Feminine Friday. Today I have something special for you. When I sat down to write this last night, I channeled the whole thing and it was like literally with my eyes closed, just typing away. So some of it I'm going to be reading to you today because it's like, wow, it's really fun. It's really powerful. It's really huge. And thank you for spending some time here with me today. And thank yourself for spending some time with you for Me Time so that we can learn about how to reclaim our divine, natural, feminine grace and power, and how we can use that feminine grace and power in our relationships to influence others and really live a life of a lot of ease and a lot of peace when we get back in touch with all of this. So as a powerful, world-changing woman that I know you are, I know that catching a little time for yourself can be challenging, and I want to acknowledge you for being here, and I promise I'm going to be delivering some really big info. And I guide powerhouse women like you in order to learn how to release that need to control, that closed downness, and moving into that openness and that surrender so that you can actually own your own light. You can own your beautifully authentic self. And then, of course, that will influence the world around you in a really powerful way. As women, we're mothers, we're teachers, we're guides. My phone is making noise. I'm going to turn that off. Sorry, guys. That's fun. So as women, we're powerful and we influence the world in a really big way. And we're at a crossroads right now in this day and this time, which I spoke about in the Me Time before when I talked about the hashtag Me Too that was happening. And we spoke about how important it is as women to step into our power because there really is big change on the horizon and we get to influence which direction it's going. Are we going to allow this world to get crushed and destroyed, or are we going to move into a place of rebuilding it with peace and love? And of course, that's the natural feminine energy, which has been missing for a while. So I named my company Beautifully Authentic because I really believe that when we're truly in our authentic selves and we're vulnerable and we're open, it's a very beautiful thing. And that's where we shine, and that's where people love us, and that's where we're vulnerable and exposed. And the more that we feel loved, the more that we can share that love with others, and this is how we heal the planet. So for the next few weeks, I'm planning on going live every day to spend some time with you so that we can focus on healing the planet together, that we can focus on our own self-love and our own self-care so that we can love and care for those around us. Okay, so today's topic is reclaiming your divine feminine energy in your relationship. Reclaiming your divine feminine energy. I don't really know what to call this topic today, so if you guys have suggestions, when we're done, you can throw them in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. Because I just kind of channeled the whole thing. I didn't have a topic in mind. Usually I have a topic and then I teach, but this just came through. So this is exactly what I'm going to be sharing. I'm going to be sharing the exact way that you can use your divine feminine energy to effortlessly get what you want in your relationship and heal the planet. Okay, it's going to be pretty cool. So if you know any women who are definitely up to getting into their divine grace, owning their divine femininity, invite them in. We want them to be part of this. So go ahead and share, and let's make sure that everybody can be part of this together, okay? If you have any questions, write them down in the comments. I promise that I'll get back to you and I'll answer them. So here we go. All right, ladies, the time is now. We're being called forward as women into the light, into the power of the feminine divine. This is a movement, and I want you to join me in reclaiming your power, your divine grace, your connection to the womb of the earth, the divine mother. You're connected to it simply because you chose to come here at this time as a woman. The word woman literally has womb in it. A woman has a womb. You cannot escape it. Your body has an opening, a literal physical opening in it to receive. And you are a huge catalyst for change at this time because you're a vessel for receiving. Okay, so the men on the planet right now, they came here as action takers. I'm going to get into that in a minute. And they're waiting for us to step into this divine femininity so that we can guide them. They've lost their way. We've lost our way. And our purpose has always been and will always be to be connected to source energy of creation. We have a womb. We create the next generation in our bodies. In our womb, we are creators. We are the essence of creators, and we're in a part of our world right now where there's a lack of creativity. There's a stagnation that's happening. There's a greed that's overtaking, a lust and a greed that's overtaking, and the creativity, you can see it in some aspects, is really beautiful and it's really moving, and that's where there's a lot of really generative energy. It's beautiful. And then there's this other part that's very stuck in old patterns. And so I actually am calling forward the women who are part of this stuck in old patterns. I want you to reclaim your divine feminine purpose so that we can actually start shifting some of this into creation. So whether this is the actual birth of a child or the birth of an idea or the birth of an ideology, the birth of visions and dreams, this is what we're birthing right now. And many of us are being called forth into this new birthing into the world. If this resonates with you, give me some thumbs up. Let me know. I want to know which ones of you are part of my tribe. I want to find the other women who are ready to step into this and start really leading in the world. The world has been led by men for the last couple thousand years, and it's time to have women step into their true power and influence so that we can make a change. It doesn't look like the woman stepping into the man's pants. This is not what I'm talking about. And I used to be a really strong feminist, and this is not about feminism, this talk. This is about surrendering back into the original state. 10 million years of DNA telling us how to operate, our estrogen telling us how to operate, okay? The woman is the guide. This is what we do as mothers, we guide. The man is the action taker. The woman leads the way. The man organizes the tribe. The woman lovingly whispers into her man's ear, baby, do the right thing. And he looks back and he loves her and he does it for her because he wants to please her. The woman is a vessel to receive, as I said before. She receives her man. She receives the message of the spirit. Right? We're receiving all the time. This is what our bodies were literally made for. This is a woman's power. So to love her man unconditionally the way she loves a child. I know that for a lot of women, there's like an irritation that happens here. I want you to imagine letting go of that irritation for a moment, and I want you to imagine what your relationship would actually look like if you embraced your man as if he was a child. To love him into healing the way we love our children, to love him with that nurturing that we give our children, to love him until he's whole and he can move into his divine grace and lead the planet to make amazing and healthy choices and actions to protect the mother earth, you, the mother, his mother, like to protect. That's what men were put on the planet for. They are twice as big as us and they're twice as strong as us, and their DNA tells them to protect. And they only will protect that which they love. And it's our job to get into this place of receiving, to get into this place of literally channeling and receiving and being the creator, right? Because that's what we do. We have a womb, we have babies, we create the next generation. And as we love them, the men are the ones who go out and they take the action. They're the ones who are protecting us, and they're the ones taking the action. And if we're saying, I am not okay with the way that things are happening in this planet, and your man feels loved and supported unconditionally by you, he will go out and he will change it. This is the message that I'm receiving. As women, we are intricately connected to the soil. The soil has nutrients, minerals. Everything is grown out of the soil. We are the soil. Babies grow out of us. We are intricately connected to the moon. Our bodies move with the moon cycle. We're connected to the tide. We're intricately connected to the plants and the animals because these are the children of the earth, and we are the children bearers of the human species. The man is connected to the knowledge and the consciousness. He's connected to life and death. He's connected to the hunt, the chase, the kill, the fight, the destruction. In order to protect, sometimes you have to destroy. And in order for the soil to become rich, sometimes it needs to burn. And the man has the power to burn the land. The woman doesn't. The woman wants to heal the land. The man has the power to leave the children behind and go hunt and go fight. If you've had a baby, you know you don't want to leave your baby. Like, there are some women who are called to the masculine energy, and I'm not saying that you're bad or wrong if you're not called. If you're called to the masculine energy, go out and fight. All right, so I'm speaking to those women who are called to the masculine energy also. If the divine masculine is stronger in you, then you go out and you make change and you take action in this world right now. Because if that's your calling, you better step into it. And for those of us who are women and we know that our role is to love and support and nurture, you nurture those people who are ready to go out and take action, and you get behind them in a way that maybe you never have stepped into before. So both are important. The feminine and the masculine energy, both are important. They both bring a balance. So the masculine runs around these days without his masculinity. He's emasculated like a eunuch. He's given his power away. He gives it to his boss. He gives it to his woman. He gives it to his neighbor. He sits on the couch and he watches other men compete. He watches other men play sports and move their bodies. And this is the only way he can get close to the kill anymore. The feminine tucks away her grace. Hi, Reagan. The feminine tucks away her grace and her softness and her openness and her creativity and her ability to look and find, and instead forces herself to achieve more, do more, and we become hard and we're no longer open. And when we're no longer open, we no longer can receive the gifts of the Spirit. And our hearts have hardened to love because our experiences in the workplace are that we're not enough. In other words, we're not as good as a man. So women have learned not to trust men and have closed themselves down, which is the furthest thing that you need to do in order to actually be aligned in your feminine grace. And I say enough is enough. And it's a painful way of living, and it's unnatural, and it doesn't feel good for anyone. And I hope that I am affecting you right now, and I hope you're pissed off listening to me. And I hope you're going, you know what, I want to be a man. And then there's that little part inside of you that's going, no, I fucking don't. I don't want to be a man. I want to step into my divine grace. I want to step into my creativity. I want to step into my openness, receiving, nurturing, supporting, and love. I want to step into caring for the planet. Like, this gets me at a heart level, you guys. Like, I was one of those hard, closed women. And it is out of alignment for me. I mean, I cut all my hair off and I wore men's clothes and I was hard and I was cold and I was smart and I had all the knowledge and I would fucking win. I would beat you. And it didn't feel good. Not at all. So both people can make money. I'm not saying that they can't. And both genders and both sexes can raise kids. Everyone has access to both energies. The trouble is that the energies, the true energies, are getting lost. And they're not getting used in harmony anymore. So if you want to claim your masculine energy, if you're listening to me and you're like, I want that masculine energy, then go for it. Go for the hunt. Go for the fight. Claim your territory. Go for the kill. Go for the freedom of your mind. Go for the freedom of not being tied down, the freedom of living in the woods with no shelter and frickin' hunting a bear, okay? And then bring home your kill and be proud. If that calls to you, that's the masculine energy. It's terrifying for most women, quite frankly, these days. It's terrifying for most emasculated, underdeveloped, overweight, and depressed men as well. Yet the difference is it calls forth the masculine energy inside of those of us who are connected to the masculine energy. Even a depressed, overweight, emasculated man thinks to himself, I wish. Does the masculine energy call you? If it does, take some action. If you want to claim your feminine, I gotta sneeze. It's not gonna happen. If you want to claim your feminine energy, then get creative, get expressive. Allow your body to completely open and be receptive to the divine and the intuition and the love that naturally flows within you. Okay? Let go and surrender all of that control completely and trust nature to guide you and take care of yourself and everyone else around you with ease, because you have the freedom and knowledge to do. It's like inside of you. It's easy if you surrender to it to take care of those who are around you. And the more we take care of those who are around us, the more the men step into the role of protecting and making you happy. Okay, so use the senses you didn't even know you have. Allow yourself to be protected and provided for by others. Is this feminine energy calling to you? Just listen and see which one's calling to you. Whichever one it is, step into it, okay? Our menstrual cycles hurt us because we are so controlled in our bodies, because we're trying to be hard and tough and strong. It hurts because we're out of sync with our bodies, our wishes, our desires, our needs, our wants, our self-care, our self-love. Your body hurts you because you're run down and you're trying to stay in masculine energy all the time. Allow that feminine flow to come in at least 50% of the time. Like, give yourself a freaking break. If the feminine calls to you, let the feminine in. It doesn't mean you're not doing anything. You do a lot as the feminine. It's just very different. It's an intuitive flow. It's a movement. It's like a dance, right? Allow that nurturing for yourself and your family that everyone needs. The whole freaking planet needs to be nurtured right now. The whole planet is starving in this not enough mentality. And as women, we have the possibility of bringing in the enoughness, of filling that void that's needed in this planet. You guys can see I'm getting like emotional. So if you nurture your man, if you truly nurture him like a child, I promise he will melt into you. He will want to give you the world. He will attempt to give you the world. I know this firsthand. If you don't open to him and receive the gifts that he's offering you, which is your natural state, he will find you cold and hard, and he will turn away from you and he'll find something else to fill that isn't you. Men want to penetrate something, and they will find something to penetrate. And if it's your man, you're hoping he's penetrating you, and it's going to happen if you're open. And if you're hard and closed and shut down and guarded, it is not going to happen. He is going to go somewhere else. It could be nature, it could be business, it could be another woman. But it's up to us to be open. As soon as we become hard and shut down, a man experiences himself in our openness. And if we aren't open, he doesn't experience that. He wants it, he craves it, and he's gonna go find it. So, in your fully expressed feminine and masculine natures, your natural feminine state is to nurture him. His natural state is to penetrate you with love. Your natural state is to open to him and trust him and let him lead. His natural state is to protect you and provide for you and make you happy. Okay? Now, this doesn't mean that if you don't trust your man, that you should. No. Trust yourself to know whether or not your man can be trusted. Don't go following your man who isn't trustworthy because I said to. Don't do that. Open yourself and see as you nurture him and love him and create this safe space for him and create the nest. If he can step in and give back to you what he's so badly. All of us, deep down, deep down, a woman wants to be loved and a man wants to love his woman. Deep down, that's what we want. But we have all these protections and we've gotten so mad at each other and we have all these resentments and shit that's piled up. Like, you got to get through that stuff. You got to get back to the natural place of love, the natural place of nurturing, providing, supporting, taking action, protecting, providing, making happy. Like, these are the things that men and women naturally want to do for each other when they love each other. All right, so this is what it looks like when we're in the flow, when we're in our feminine, he's in his masculine, or if you're a woman and you're with a woman, you're in your masculine, she's in her feminine, whatever, however it works for you, okay? But there's a masculine and feminine. This is how it works. The feminine, I'm going to say that's us, women, me. I'm a woman, so I'm going to consider that you and me, okay? You create the nest for nurturing, okay? Then he melts into you, right? Because remember, I told you he wants to experience himself. And as a woman, you give him a place to experience himself. And he wants to give himself to you as an offering. He literally wants to give you his body. He literally has a part of his body he wants to put into you, okay? You have a part of your body that's open to receiving that. So you stay open to him. He is overjoyed because he just wants to make you happy and protect you. And he won't let anything happen to you because he's experienced himself and you're open to receiving him as a gift. He's made a love offering to you and you've received it. Now he's so happy and he wants to make you happy and he wants to protect you. And he wants to like protect you like you're a precious little ducky, you know, just like the most precious little thing. That's how they feel about you when you're open to them. And then you know what you want and you know what you need because you're in touch with your femininity, you're in touch with your creativity, you're in touch with your intuitions, you're in touch with your emotions. And when you're in touch with all of that, you know what you need, okay? So then you ask for it and he gives it to you because he wants to. He wants to make you happy and he wants to provide for you. And then you acknowledge him and you respect him and you let him do it his way. That's the key. You don't ask questions because he interprets this as you doubting him and not trusting him and not respecting him. You don't ask questions. You say what you want clearly and specifically. And then you surrender. Like, this is part of being open. And he wants to give you more and more and make you happy. So you tell him which way you want to go and why. And he uses his logical man brain, which works so much better than our logical man brains. We don't have those. We have emotional bodies. We don't have logical man brains. We've been forced to have logical man brains because we spent 18 years in school, and most of us a lot even more than that in school and learning and jobs and everything else. You know, we've been taught that we're supposed to have this man brain, but naturally, like chemically, in the brain, men do math and they solve logic problems. This is 10 million years of DNA. They killed the mammoth. Like, you have to have a good structure and strategy, logical, in order to kill the mammoth and not die, okay? So their brains are good at that. So we let him use his logical man brain and we let him make really, really good decisions, and he takes your suggestions into account because he loves you and he wants to make you happy and he wants to provide for you. So then you respect him and you trust him to lead you, and if he screws it up, you let him own it. You nurture him and you hold him and you do not criticize him. Men, they don't criticize themselves the way that we do. It's different in their brains. They just learn what to not do again. When you criticize him, he just thinks you don't know him and that you don't trust him, okay? So they're smart. They know when they screw up. They're not stupid. They're very, very smart. And they know that when they screw up, they're not going to do that again because that didn't work for them and it didn't work for you and it didn't make you happy, okay? They know if you're happy or if you're not happy. You don't have to tell them that they're an idiot and that they did it wrong, okay? So you let him express himself and you let him express his thinking to you. So men are strategizers. You know, you've probably heard them be like, well, you know, we're going to go to the airport. We're going to leave at 5:50, and then we're going to take a cab, and that's going to cost $12.65. I mean, they do this, you know, and they like rattle it off sometimes out loud. Let them do that, because then you can give him your feedback. A man who trusts you will do that with you. Men who don't trust you and they think you're just going to criticize them and they think you don't respect them, they won't do that outside of the mouth prattling that I was just talking about. They won't go, well, I think that what I need to do is this, and then I'm going to do this, and then this. And they're saying it out loud because they're working it out for themselves. And they want you to be happy. So they're expecting you to be listening. And if you don't like it, you say, no, what about this? And then they take it into account because they want to make you happy. Okay? So you give them your feedback and make sure you make a lot of sense. And you especially get to share what you intuitively know, because they're logical, they're thinking logically, and you're thinking intuitively, and you're thinking emotionally, and you're thinking way in the future, and you're thinking about what Aunt Sally's going to think, and Uncle Vern is going to think, and what Cousin Joe is going to think, and what your kids are going to think, and what his mother's going to think. And they're not thinking about that. You're thinking about that. So you make sure, blah, 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 you put that into the pot. I call it like the man-computer brain. You put all of the information into the man-computer brain, and then he generates a report. Okay? It's fantastic. Trust the report. They're smart. They're so smart. Let them be smart. So he usually does what you say because you're smart and he respects you. And remember, he wants to make you happy. So if he does something stupid, it's because he thinks it will make you happy. Okay, so don't criticize him. So you get to let him make you happy because it makes you happy. To be happy. Like everybody gets to be happy, you're happy, he's happy, and then you get to express your love to him in only a way that his woman can show him, in only a way that a woman can't show him. She can express her love in a wonderful, wonderful way. And he adores and he worships you and he protects you and provides for you and he never leaves and he never wanders because he trusts you and you respect him and you adore him because his love penetrates you and fills this hole inside of you that you didn't even know was there, but you're longing for someone to fill you up with love. You're longing for it. I'm calling it right now. I'm talking to you. Inside of you, there's a place that wants to be loved. And in our culture, we're taught, do it on your own. Fill your own hole. Okay. Yes. I mean, I preach self-love all day long. Yes, you fill your own hole, right? You make sure that you love yourself 100%. And I know that in each one of us, there is a desire to be loved. You can let a man love you, or you can let what I call the Holy Spirit of God love you, your divinity. You can be connected to nature. You can be connected to divine source, whatever it is. There is a hole in you and you want it filled. And if you want it to be filled by a man, go for it. Because they want to fill it for you, okay? So he penetrates that hole inside of you and then you bring him into worship and divinity with your connection and your energy. Because remember, you're open, you're a channel, you're intuitive, you're emotional. You're in touch with all of this, and he wants to be close to that. And so you let him come into you and experience divinity, and he shows you God. And this is the beauty of relationships. So you may relate to the masculine, you may relate to the feminine, and you may relate with both. Most people relate more strongly with one. Don't forget that these are energies, and they're driven by hormones that are driven by 10 million years of DNA. Okay, so if you have estrogen, like there's like freaking mitochondria from 10 million years ago, you know, there's the male and the female, and the female is the one who generates the next generation. The male carries the sperm and protects the female. Like, this is what's been happening for 10 million years. Don't fight it, okay? In our culture, because we have these crazy monkey brains, you know, we have these brains that say, oh, we can do this and we can do that. Like, we're so out of touch with our natural way of being. We're fighting our own selves. So stop fighting yourself. And if none of this is true for you, fine, throw it all out and find your flow. Find your natural state of being. Find your natural feminine way of being or masculine way of being, whatever it is for you. And do what feels easy. Like, stop fighting your own body. It's causing disease, okay? And guys, this that I've shared with you today, I'm speaking from personal experience. I've created this in my amazing and beautiful relationship with the man that I'm with right now. I allow him to be in his masculine, and I do everything I can to call it forward. And I allow him to access his feminine and his softness and his grace, and he allows me to be in my feminine And he creates a space for me to trust him so that I can open myself completely. And I cry and I get mad and I ask for what I need. And you should see him just like simply melt when I am all open and vulnerable and exposed. You know, I'm coming to him like crying my eyes out. You know, I'm like, I'm out of ideas, I'm out of energy, I'm flustered, I'm frustrated, and I get vulnerable, and he just like melts. He puts on this little face, it's like, oh, and he looks so concerned, and he just holds me while I have this meltdown, and it opens his heart so wide to see me be so vulnerable, and he loves to just take me in his arms and hold me, and he loves to penetrate me with that love until I just totally completely release and surrender into him. And that's when I find this feminine energy, I find this feminine grace. You know, I let go completely, and I let him with this big strong man body just protect me. And I let go of all of that, like trying to do stuff that's so much efforting. It's so unnatural for me. And then I relax and I smile, and that lights him up. And then he does everything in his power to make me happy. And I feel so loved and I feel so seen. And I would do anything to make him happy too. You know, I just absolutely am able to surrender my like need for control when I'm with him, because I trust him so much, you know, because I've experienced so many times of him just holding me and being that strong rock. So everything I'm sharing with you today is personal experience, and I can't wait to share more with you on this topic, because like it really is the most beautiful life to claim your natural state of self, to be infused with love, let go of attachment, stay in the moment. You know, thank you for letting me teach you what's taken me like 25 years to unlearn and relearn, because I was so hard and so cold and so controlled and so scared and out of touch. And it's so amazing to be in this flow state now where I really do trust God, I really do trust my man, and I'm able to just love and love and love, love, love. So I can't wait to share more. So keep a lookout for the talk I was trying to write for today, which is going to be more about the history of feminine energy. And I'm going to explain more from an anthropological, archaeological, and historical point of view, which was what I was going to be doing today. I have all of this immense knowledge. Oh, Reagan, thank you so much for being here. So I have all this immense knowledge. I have been studying archaeology and anthropology and psychology for like 25 years. I'm so fascinated with all of this stuff and the science behind it, the DNA, you know, how our I mean, I remember at like 14 years old, I rode my bike to the library and I rented a book called The Alchemy of Love and Lust. And it was about how hormones direct our bodies. Like, I have been reading about this stuff for 26 years. So I have so much awesome information to give you. And everything that like came through last night with this, what I'm calling channeling, you know, I know it's the divine, I know it's my personal experience, and I know it's all that knowledge being put together, and I love sharing it with you. So thank you for letting me share it. I'm going to share more about that historical stuff. So keep a lookout for that one, and also keep a lookout for women's menstrual cycles, because I'm going to be talking about what our bodies as women are trying to tell us. And the more and more we get in touch with our bodies, the more we become intuitive, the more connected we become to our spiritual bodies, and then the more intricately connected we become to knowing what the planet needs to shift and heal. Okay, so when we're aware of this, we're able to influence our men actually to take more action. And that's actually the shift that we're needing. And it's going to help shift the way that we're living right now. So I want to live in a sustainable, earth-conscious way where men start building roads and governments and establishments like in a sustainable way, in a way that isn't hurting people. And that's going to happen when the women in our culture tap into themselves. When you tap into yourself, when you tap into what's needed for you inside of you, and you start teaching it to your children, right? Everything's going to shift. The children's going to shift. The earth is going to shift. The future's going to shift. Like getting in touch with all of this, the earth, the future, the spirit, everything that we need, and having it all be in balance. And then we're going to be able to communicate all of this to the men, because we're going to be able to see it and feel it. We are feeling beings. We will feel it, we'll see it, we'll be able to create it. We are creators. We generate the next generation, for God's sake. Like, we were made to create. We were made to imagine. We are the basket weavers. We are the artists, you know, like, and men have access to this feminine energy also. I'm not saying that they don't. Absolutely 100% do also. And this is the feminine energy that's missing, right? So as we're able to see this and feel into it and create it, we're able to share it with the men that we love, with the men who love us, and they're going to actually be able to put it into action, and then it's going to actually become the consciousness of the planet, okay? So if you're ready to create this in your life now, don't hesitate to reach out to me for a complimentary breakthrough session. I want to support you in opening up your feminine, feeling your feelings, using your intuition, letting the divine grace in, self-love, self-care, nurturing yourself, loving yourself, because once you know how to do all of that, you know how to do it for your children, your men, the planet, everybody else. So if you're ready for all of this beautiful stuff that I've just described, please, please reach out to me if you're not living it. If you're living it, oh my gosh, keep going. I'm glad you're part of my tribe. I'm so glad you're here. Share this information, share the videos, share the blogs. It's coming in every direction. I am on fire lately. And I would love to walk anybody through, you know, what they need in order to have a breakthrough life. I want people to have this like breathtaking life that I'm living right now. So thank you for joining me today. You have no idea how much I appreciate you being here with me and allowing me to share my knowledge with you, my wisdom and my love. So acknowledge yourself right now, please, for me. Give yourself like a little squeeze from me, a little pat on the back, that you took some time out of your busy day to learn something new, and that something that really can truly significantly alter your life, your relationship, and the relationship that we have together as humans on the planet. I love you, and I will see you next time. I'm reading Reagan's comments. Hi, Anna and Reagan. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being with me. Please, please share.